I pledge allegiance to success, to do better today than my very best. Why? Because I'm a winner. I'm a champion. I'm a conqueror. I'm an overcomer. I'm a game changer. And so are you. I want to welcome to everybody to today's Time Out with Coach Hill. Thrilled and excited, delighted and honored to be able to bring today's message to you. And I know I'm a minute or two late here, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time with all the normal platitudes and welcoming people. You know who you are, and I appreciate each and every last one of you. And it's a great day to be alive. Welcome to Friday if you're here in the U.S., and if you're abroad, it might already be Saturday for you. But whatever day it is, it's a blessed day because you're still alive. So I want to welcome everyone to the broadcast today. We've talked this week about power, you know, the authority, the energy of it and all. We've talked about forgiving. There's a lot of power in that. We talked about love. Definitely a lot of power in that. When we're talking about our minds, definitely a lot of power in that. And today I decided, you know what, I'm going to talk about something that is equally as powerful as all those things that I've talked about, and it's the power of failure. And for many of us, when we think about failure, it's not something we want to think about. We don't like to fail. You know, from a baby that starts to walk, that takes a couple of steps and then falls down, that is seen, if you would, if the baby only takes one step, that seems like a failure. The baby has not started walking. But in all actuality, the baby has done just that. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. So the baby's goal is that one day that baby will walk. So the baby is in the process of being successful, and is successful by that definition, even though he or she has failed. And like I said, I'm jumping right into today's subject. I don't want to waste a lot of time with this because, you know what? You guys don't have time to waste. The time is now. Now is the time, and there's no time to lose. We have to get our minds right and sit around that, you know what? Power comes from failure. It comes from not succeeding. And I know no one likes to hear this story. As a matter of fact, there's been several people that have said this in a different way so that they can make sure that they set their mind right, if you would. It was, I think it was, which one was it? That created the, you're talking about Henry Ford. Henry Ford said, failure is just simply an opportunity to begin again more knowledgeable, to have more knowledge. That's how he saw failure. He didn't see it as permanent. When you're talking about, you know, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison said, I didn't fail. I only figured out 9,999 times how something didn't work. But ladies and gentlemen, any way you want to bring it up, any way you want to say it, it's failure. You have to fail your way to success. So don't run away from it. Embrace it. Understand that that's part of success. Success is failure turned inside out. And there's a lot of power in that. One of the parts about, you know, it being very, very powerful is because now you have experience. Have you ever went for a job interview and when you get there, they're saying, we're looking for experience? What they're really saying is that we're already looking for someone who's already had failures or someone who's already tried. We're looking for someone who's already been down that road and knows that, you know what, it has potholes in it, that it has curves, that it has detours, that it has distractions. We want somebody that already knows these things. Well, the only way that you can find out those things is that you, yes, you, must go through them. So don't run away from failure, run through failure. Let failure be a point of also what I call a little something to give you a little bit of nudge, if you would, that is so frustrating to you, so annoying to you that you will not do that again. See, that's what failure is. It's like a guideline. It says, you know what? I don't like those results, so I won't do what I did last time. And that's why failure is so powerful, is because it encourages you to do something different, encourages you to move to another direction. And ladies and gentlemen, there are some people that we know it is recorded for all of history to see that they failed. Well, what are you talking about, Coach? Well, let's go back to this guy named Moses. Moses failed in life. He did. He got so angry, he got so mad in regards to the things that he saw some other people and how they were being treated, that he lost control and he killed an Egyptian. Well, in all things being said, murder is not necessarily, you wouldn't find a murderer and say, oh, he's successful, right? You would say, wow, that guy's kind of like messed it up there. But guess what? He failed at life. But because of that, it drove him to exile. And it was in exile, it was in that period of consecration that he became a success. He learned how to lead people. He learned how to actually take it to God. He learned how to actually become successful because of his failure. Let's take David. David started off a success, but David then had a failure. When he saw Bathsheba taking a bath, and then what he did to Uriah the Hittite, what he did, guys, that is marked as a failure. But because of that, because of what happened, guess what? He lost his first child. Because of that, it changed him. That failure changed him to be a great and mighty king, to do great things. When you're talking about Peter, Peter failed the test. He failed the test that the Lord had given him in regards to the clock, the rooster crowing 3 times. He failed that test. But then he came back and then he established the church. See, it's through failure that we actually build our successes. If you look at any of these, a lot of these actors, should I say, if you look at Sylvester Stallone, he failed his way to success. All the things that he did up until the moment that he actually created Rocky, and that was the reason why he was able to create Rocky, is because of the failures that he had. He was able to play that character so well because he was that character. Because it built character in him. And that's what success, that's what failure does. It builds character. It builds character so that you can become successful, that you can speak from experience. So don't run from it, run to it and through failure. When you look at Abraham Lincoln, if you go back and you study the success that he had, yes, we see that he became president, but if you'll go back, his real successes is when he failed at this, and he failed at that, and he failed at another thing, and he failed at being the senator, and he failed, and then he won. You look at Colonel Sanders, he failed, and then he won. If you look at Ray Kroc, he failed, and then he won. If you look at Napoleon Hill, if you'll read his book, Outwitting the Devil, it will tell you in no uncertain circumstances that he tried this and he did this. And even though he had some success in that, it ended up failing. And that's the reason why he was able to, as he said, put flesh on the book that he had wrote. Because up until that point, all he had was, if you would, information that they had given him. He had knowledge. He didn't really have experience. It took him failing. It took him hiding from those gangsters. It took him going through it so that he could grow through it, so that he could tell you that, guess what, you can make it through it. You can make it through it. And there's a whole lot of power in that, guys. It's just as much power in failure as it is in success. As a matter of fact, I believe there's more power in failure than it is success. We see the successes, but really what made those people who they are were their failures. So embrace that. Not to the point where, oh, I wouldn't want to be a failure. No, I hope you fail, but I don't want you to be a failure. I'll say that again. I hope you fail, but I don't want you to be a failure. I want you to be a winner, because you are. I want you to be a conqueror, because you can overcome. I want you to be the champion that you are. I want you to be the best you that you can be, because you know what? That's all you can be. All you can do is all you can do. And all you can do is enough. Just make sure you're doing all that you can do. And on your journey, as you're building your business, whatever type of business it is, maybe you're in this business or organo business, and maybe this week you set a goal. And maybe this week's goal was that you were going to meet 10 people. But guess what? The week's not over. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you didn't get it done, don't get down on yourself. Ask yourself the questions, why didn't I get it done? What was the distractions? What was it that stopped me? Was it fear? Was it that, the things that are going on in society that took away from my thought process? What was it that stopped you from doing it? What caused you to fail? And if you do this, guys, this is why failure is so important. If you will examine why you failed, and then make it up in your mind that, you know what, I'm not going to do that again. And if you do that again, recognize what triggered you to do that again, so the next time that thing comes up, you can actually be able to, give it the Heisman. You can give it that stiff arm and say, you know what, I'm not falling for that again. I've fallen for that before. I've fallen for that many times before. I failed in that area, but it's now time for me to turn that failure inside out. And guys, if you do that, I promise you this, you'll get gooder and gooder, as we say here in Texas. You'll get better and better. You'll become the person that you're thinking about. You know, that person that goes out there and changes people's lives. That person that goes out there and makes an exuberant amount of money. That person that goes out there that's able to lead the masses. Yes, that person that you are envisioning. The vision that you have for your nation that's in here will become the reality that you live out here. So guys, I'm so excited for you this week. Hopefully you learned something from the power. Yes, the power itself and what it's all about. Then the power of forgiveness. Then the power of love. Wow, guys. Then the power of your mind. And the last one is the power of failure. So that's a lot of power for you, right? That's going to help you to become a person of worth through these pearls of wisdom, because of the power of these words, the psychology of winning that you now have, and guess what? Psychology of the wealthy. I'll see you guys on next week's broadcast. Again, guys, don't let a four-letter word like fear or lazy keep you from living your dreams. Grind so hard until your haters start quoting you. Grind so hard until your haters get tired just from watching you. And I'll see you here next week. Guys, you guys have an incredible weekend. It's easy. It's simple. It's your life. All right. Good night. Goodbye. Good morning. Whatever it is. See you guys.